While Mzilikazi's campaigns swept through many clans in the region, one notable exception stands out: the formidable Sotho kingdom under King Moshoeshoe. Season 2, Episode 5, Clash of the Titans, when Mzilikazi met Moshoeshoe. The shadow of Shaka Zulu loomed large over southern Africa in the early 19th century, his military innovations and expansionist policies serving as a catalyst for the events that would unfold. It was within this dynamic crucible that Mzilikazi and Moshoeshoe carved their legacies, each interacting with Shaka's formidable power in distinct ways. Mzilikazi, born around 1790 in Zululand, was the son of Machobana. Mzilikazi himself, a commander of exceptional skill, began his career as a trusted general within Shaka's burgeoning Zulu kingdom. He learned the efficiency of the Zulu impi, the disciplined formations, and the art of total warfare directly from the master strategist himself, Shaka Zulu. Meanwhile, far to the west, Moshoeshoe of the Bamokoteli clan, born around 1786, Moshoeshoe's rise was shaped by the profound wisdom of Chief Mohlomi, who instilled in him a belief system centered on diplomacy over sheer military might, a philosophy that would become the cornerstone of Moshoeshoe's strategic genius. Even as Shaka's influence spread, Moshoeshoe displayed a remarkable foresight in his interactions with the Zulu king. In fact, Moshoeshoe proactively established a cordial and strategic alliance with Shaka Zulu. This crucial bond developed partly due to shared regional threats, especially from Matiwane of the Amangwane, who maintained acrimonious relations with both Shaka and Moshoeshoe. As the chaos and displacements intensified in the region, Moshoeshoe made a decisive move. In July 1824, he led his people to the mountain plateau of Thaba Bosiu, Mountain at Night, so named for their nocturnal arrival. This natural fortress, with its steep slopes and limited access points, was exceptionally defensible. Local traditions even whispered of its supernatural properties, claiming it grew during the night and shrunk during the day, reinforcing its mythical impregnability. It's crucial to understand the immediate backdrop against which these leaders operated. The early 1820s saw the impact of leaders like Mpangazita of the Hlubi, whose aggressive campaigns were significant in the initial waves of the regional chaos, particularly impacting the Highveld region where the Sotho peoples resided. His actions, along with those of other raiding groups, created immense pressure and displacement, forcing many smaller chiefdoms to either scatter or seek protection. Moshoeshoe's strategic rise and the establishment of Thaba Bosiu were, in part, a direct response to the existential threats posed by figures like Mpangazita and later Matiwane of the Ngwane. While Moshoeshoe and Shaka's relationship was built on a foundation of cooperative alliance, Moshoeshoe's relationship with Mzilikazi developed along a different, more volatile trajectory. Initially, the relationship suggested some level of engagement or even tentative alliance, indicating a period of early, perhaps even cordial, contact. However, as Mzilikazi expanded his territory northward, seeking new lands and consolidating his growing power, tensions inevitably emerged. This friction between Mzilikazi and Moshoeshoe born from overlapping spheres of influence and a clash of expansionist ambitions, would eventually escalate into the military confrontation that brought the two titans face to face. By the early to mid-1830s, both leaders were in their prime, commanding formidable, albeit distinct, nations. Mzilikazi had established his first true settlements by the Middle Vaal River around mid-1823. However, relentless harassment from Taung and Griqua raiders forced him to migrate again, leading his people north to the Mahalisburg Mountains in mid-1827. Concurrently, Moshoeshoe was consolidating the BaSotho nation from a diverse collection of tribes from the seemingly impregnable summit of Thaba Bosiu. Its strategic advantages, security, abundant pasturage, and a reliable water supply were self-evident, making it a fortress by nature. As Mzilikazi's forces swept through the region, on one notable occasion, a seasoned Ndebele MP, accustomed to overwhelming all resistance, was dispatched to Moshoeshoe's domain. After a grueling march, the Ndebele army arrived at the foot of Thaba Bosiu, anticipating an easy victory. However, what awaited them was far from an easy conquest. It was a strategically prepared, deadly trap. When the Ndebele attacked on 2 or 3 sides at once, they were met with a relentless barrage of boulders and spears. The BaSotho, expertly positioned atop their mountain stronghold, unleashed volleys of massive stones, sending them careening down the steep slopes with devastating effect. The Ndebele found themselves utterly unable to get at their foes, their disciplined ranks broken by the sheer impossibility of scaling the rocky defenses under such a deadly, unconventional onslaught. Every step uphill was met with crushing force from above. The repulse was complete and brutal. The Ndebele, suffering heavy losses, turned homeward, crestfallen and weary. This was not just a minor skirmish. It was a significant defeat. What followed was a truly remarkable act of diplomacy that would define the relationship between these two powerful kingdoms. Moshoeshoe did not gloat in his victory. Instead, he gathered a large herd of fat cattle, the ultimate symbol of wealth and generosity. He sent these prime cattle after the retreating Ndebele, accompanied by a message that transcended the bitterness of battle. "You have eaten all your food and are hungry. The chief of the BaSotho sends you food." This astonishing gesture of generosity, far from being a sign of weakness, was a masterstroke of political genius, acknowledged Mzilikazi's power even in retreat. This act of respect and strategic goodwill resonated deeply with Mzilikazi, who understood the significance of such an offering. From that point forward, the Sotho kingdom under Moshoeshoe remained virtually untouched by Mzilikazi's advancing forces, a powerful testament to both Moshoeshoe's ingenuity and Mzilikazi's pragmatic leadership. Indeed, this significant encounter ushered in an unexpected period of peace and friendship between the two peoples. Crucially, this period of truce and the subsequent interactions led to a fascinating exchange of peoples. Among the many refugees and scattered groups living under Moshoeshoe's protection were various Nguni clans who had been displaced by the widespread conflicts. These included the Halimana and Magonia clans, both of whom had strong ties to the Hlubi and the Kwabe, respectively. And so it was that the powerful titans, Mzilikazi and Moshoeshoe, had clashed. Moshoeshoe had skillfully resisted Mzilikazi's might, not with overwhelming force, but with strategic genius and an impregnable mountain stronghold. In a rare and profound display of mutual respect and diplomatic wisdom, they had reached a truce and made peace, etching a unique chapter into the annals of Southern African history. Both leaders would go on to establish mighty kingdoms, which endure to this day,